Okay, so I got my little worksheet here, and we're going to start off by just going over the general plemes, which are the Plini themes. I did not come up with this term. He didn't ask me anything on Reddit like a year and a half ago or something like that, and he and fans kind of came up with that together because he has these themes that he uses throughout all of the albums and whatnot. So the first pleme is at 13 seconds into Heart. Let me turn this up just a tad. So it comes in at 13 seconds. Oh, hold on, sorry. The first, well no, well yeah, we'll start with the plemes. Right there in the background. Not the main guitar, but the little thing in the background. That's the first pleme. And then the guitar also plays it here, but we'll get into that later. Second pleme is 2 minutes and 13 seconds into Selenium Forest. And it's actually, I think it's the least used one. It only comes up a few times, and it's really just a build-in. I almost, or a build-up, I almost considered not counting it, but it's, I don't know, it's present enough that I decided to use it, so 213. The one that's being picked a lot. The third pleme is 257, and this is pleme 3, and this is probably one of the biggest ones. I mean, this one probably comes up the most in all of the songs. So that's that one. And then from 332 to 352, we have what I'm calling pleme 4, which is kind of a build-up, and it's one that kind of gets played around with a little bit. So that was one. The final one is at 441, and it's sort of, well, you'll hear it. I mean, usually these are all lead guitars to start off. So there's another one, and then the final one is actually super minor, but I think it gets used like later on in like the final song, so that's why I counted it. So it's 1013 to 1026 in Away, which is on this, since is all 3 songs compiled to one album. That's why it's at 10 minutes in. So 1013, we'll go to 1011 for some lead in. So it's the lead guitar in the background. So that's it. That's all 6 of them, and they'll come up throughout all of the songs. So we're going to start with Other Things, which starts with the song Heart, and Heart starts off with a heartbeat. I guess you could call it the birth of things. So the entire series starts out with a heartbeat, that clicking noise. Then at 13, we get our first plane, and it runs until 102. guitar picks it up. Then at 124, or sorry, from 124 to 224, we have more of the first Plini. It's kind of getting toyed around with, so we'll skip to that. That goes on for another minute. And then at the end of Heart, we also have the heartbeat. And it ends with that. Then we skip other things, so there's actually no Plinis in here. It's just kind of a little, I would say it's a one-off, but there are 3 songs like that. The other 2 are Tarred and Feathered and Wombat Astronaut, where they don't really have any major Plinis in them or any motifs that kind of come from any of the other songs. So then we skip to Selenium Forest, which you basically saw all of them already. So at 213, we get this introduction of the second Plini. This is your favorite song, and it's actually one of my favorite songs by him too, and I love it because it has so many. I mean, I've got 2, 3, 4, and 5 in here. So, and it's just a sexy song. It's such a good song. So 213. Build up a little bit because it at 235 it leads into just a relaxed little bass solo, and then at 246 we get the true build up, and it goes into Plini 3. So let's go to that. Bass solo, and let's go to 46, get that real build up, and then you'll recognize Plini 3. Starts now. $332, Plini 4 in a build up. $427, Plini 4. And then I have 441. I think I made some changes as I was going through it, and I might have forgotten. But I consider the little run here to be a separate one because it's used separately, but you could honestly consider that this to just be one big Plini that he kind of plays around with. So that last little part gets used, and then we end the song with Plini 2 at 538. Then we go to Sweet Nothings, and has its own little intro, but then at 57 seconds we get Plini 3, which is, as I said before, the big one. So we'll skip to that so you can just immediately recognize it. But it's the same thing. Then at 203 we have it again. and it goes away. Then we skip Tarred and Feathered, which is another one of my favorite songs, and then we go to Away, which has its own little pleme that I believe only comes back one time. Da-da, yeah, at the end of Paper Moon. But because of that, it's important. And this one was tough for me because I listened to it and I was like, man, I feel like that's going to be a thing, so I wrote it down. And then later on, once I heard it, I couldn't place it. And I was like, wait, was that this one? So there was a little bit of arguing with myself, determining what was a pleme and what was not. But this one we're saying counts. So we're going to 1013. So that one's that. And then the final song is Sweet Nothings. So the first pleme it has is at 1238, which is, as you can see on the notes, pleme 3. Much different context. What I love is his ability to kind of change up the themes that he's using and do some fun things in between what makes those riffs. But he always comes back to them and they're always recognizable in some way. There's always something there where you go, oh yeah, I've heard that before. So then at 1508 we have pleme 3 for a little bit and then a rhythm section based around it. It's not exactly the third pleme, but it's similar, and you can tell that it was like built off of it. And then at 1605 it'll go to the actual pleme 3 on bass. Then at 1605, we get pleme 3 on bass with a slight variation played on the guitar. That was at 1605. Probably my favorite song, or my favorite part of this song, and possibly this EP, is at 1628, where pleme 1 just kind of comes into the background just barely, and it has this nice little interplay with the rhythm thing of pleme 3 that's going on in bass and guitar. So pleme 1 comes into the background as an effect. It's not done like on guitar or anything like that. And then we actually end the EP on pleme 1. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of lead in here. Then we get to the end of everything, which, as you can guess by the title, is the end of everything. So he has titled this overall the Things EP trilogy. So it's the end of everything. So let's go ahead and come down here. So from the opening to 29 seconds, we have pleme 5 and a slight variation. I see my notes. I still have like pleme 7. that one's hard. I didn't end up. What am I doing? I didn't end up having a seventh one. It's just, I think it's just a part that is just so Plini sounding that I thought it may have been. It will just say it's this cute little thing on its own. But let's go ahead and start. So opening to 29 is Plini 5 and a variation of it. Like the big giveaway for Plini 5 basically is that little, and then well, I guess we can go ahead and just show that part. That little part comes back a few times, but I think it's just in this song. But it's basically the motif for this song, so we'll kind of count it. Other than that, that's it. That's just the intro. Plini 5 kind of give us a taste, like, oh, okay, you know, this is still very much part of the trilogy. So it kind of lets people know when they're listening to it, you know, people who've already listened to the other two EPs, they're like, okay, you know, we're getting a little bit more of the same here, and they know where this is gonna go. They have Wombat Astronaut, very chill song, no plemes or motifs. So we will skip to Paper Moon. And at 8:44, which is actually towards the beginning, we get a variation of Plini 5. I say variation because it is super close to being it, but it is just not quite the same. It could be, if I like went and, you know, learned it, I could determine if it's, you know, the same thing, just like played out of order or something like that. But for now, we're just gonna say it's a variation. We get the same thing. So at 10:19 and 10:26, we get little phrases from Plini 5. Just that little, there it is again. And then, as it says here, not a Plini. This is just, in my opinion, the best part of the entire trilogy. Like, I don't know, it's one of those moments in music where it just sends a chill down my spine. And I just wonder, like, how does someone write something that beautiful? Like, where does that come from? And then it leads into another like little build-up, which is at 10:38 through 10:51, which again is a variation of Plini 5, which makes it even better. Then 11:43, we've got Plini 3, which is on effects in the background. It's only the first three notes. It's not the full phrase. So Plini 3 is, again, the big one that always comes back. So try to pick those out. It's just three notes at a time. So there it was, just the three notes. Play it one more time just to get a feel for it. So that continues, and then at 11:59 the guitar picks it up as well, and there's a bit of an interplay between the guitar and the effects to form a nearly complete Plini 3. It's not quite there, but it's hinting at what it is. Very fun. Sincerely hope my feet dry enough. I'll be so my math. So yeah, and then at 1336, one of my favorite things that he does, and when I first realized that he was doing this, I don't know, fangirled very hard. So Plini 1, that's the opening to Heart, comes in very gently in the background as an effect. And it comes in over everything else. So I'll definitely give some lead in for this because it's hard to hear it when it comes in. Just try to pay as much attention as possible. And then at 52, Plini 1 becomes much more prominent. It's sort of building up. So the guitar soloing becomes a little bit more intense, but the Plini 1 in the background also becomes more intense. What do we have here at 1408? We get through 1418. We get Plini 3 on guitar, and it's completed by the effects in the background. And oh man, this is so clever. I'm like kind of fangirling again. So then that goes on, and then at 1449 we get Plini 6, which, as you can remember, is the one from Away. So it was only there briefly, but it comes back here at 1449. And that goes on for a little bit, and then 1530 to 1540 we get Plini 5 again. So a little variation on the build-up, but it quickly becomes familiar. That's it.